going to run through some of the intersection union problems here as quickly as I can. May jump to another diagram occasionally, but anyway, first one here is the union of FG and GC. And remember that a union just unites, it combines those two things together. So I often trace in color. You only need one color for that. It's just FG and GC. And so, you know, if I was going to do this, I would go in here and I would trace FG and I would trace GC. And what is it that I've traced there? Well, that's a line segment. That's a line segment that starts out at F and ends at C. And so we can call that segment FC. And we go on to the next one. The next one is the union of ray BE and BD. Okay? BE and BD, it's the union. So once again, you can trace those both in the same color. You're uniting those two things together. So if I go to my diagram here, BE starts out here, goes out this way, and put those arrows in. Okay, this goes on infinitely in that direction because you need to be able to decide, am I talking about a line, a segment, a ray? And then BD goes this way, and hopefully you can see here in blue, what did I create? I created an angle. Okay, we're not looking for the intersection point. We're combining those two things together. That is ray. We could call it EBD. I'm sorry, angle EBD. Actually, you could call it just angle B if you wanted to. There's only one angle at vertex B, but I'll call it angle EBD. All right, and so the next one is an intersection. Okay, it's the intersection of AI and JD, and those are both segments, AI and JD. Okay, I think I'm going to jump to a new version of my diagram here. So AI is a line segment, starts here. You can see I'm tracing this in red, and again, I encourage you to do this in multiple colors. And the intersection with JD. So JD, we're starting here at J, we're going out here to D. Okay. Where do we have double colorings? We have double colorings happening everywhere between J and I, okay? It's not going infinitely in both directions, but AI came out to here, and then JD picked up here, and everything in between J and I is on both of those at the same time. So it's just that segment, JI, and again, you want the segment symbol there, all right? Next one's another union. It's the union of GC, and CH and GH. And so again, you just need one color for that. So GC is right here, and then we're doing a CH, which is right here, and we're doing GH right there. What did I create there? I created a triangle, and you can name that triangle any way you want to with 3 points. That is triangle, we'll call it GHC, but again, any order on those 3 letters is fine. All right, the next one, an intersection between line BG and line EC, okay? So line BG is right here, and it is a line, okay? Don't draw a segment, you know, extend it out past where it goes. You want to make sure you know it's a line that goes on infinitely. I extend it past the diagram. I need arrows at the end to see, do I have 2 pieces that go on infinitely? Do I have 1 part that goes on infinitely? You know, extend it out. You'll save yourself some careless mistakes. It's the intersection with BG and EC. So where is EC? Well, EC is this guy over here. And so EC is going this direction, and again, it's a line, so I'm going to put the arrows on the end. Remember, the intersection is the overlap between the two, okay? Maybe a little bit hard to see even, but there's only that one point there at point H where the two are overlapping. In other words, that's colored red and blue at the same time. There are no rays coming out of this. It's not the angle. It's just that point H there. That's all, okay? The next one, ray HC and a union with CI. So HC and CI. And I think I'm going to do this all in red. So ray HC goes out this direction and goes on infinitely. So I'm going to put the arrows at the end because, again, I need to know segment versus line versus ray, that sort of thing. And it's the union with CI. So CI, and again, it's a union. Anything on either of those is part of my final diagram. So CI goes out in this direction, and it goes on infinitely, okay? I unite those two things together. What do I have there? It's not a ray anymore. It's not a line segment. It goes on infinitely in both directions. Those arrows are really important. It's just this line. You name a line with 2 points. It can be any 2 points. You can call it CE. You can call it CI. You can call it IH. You can call it IC. Does not matter. I'm just going to call it line CH. Needs to be 2 points though. Oh, I guess you could also name it as an angle. You could call it angle IHC or angle CHI, as long as it's happening at vertex H. That would work. All right. The next one here, AI, which is a ray intersecting with DJ. AI, the ray intersecting with DJ. All right. And let's see. I'll use this diagram here. So AI. The ray starts at A, goes out in the direction of I, and again, it's infinite. So it's going to go all the way through here, and it's going to extend on out infinitely, so you get that arrow in there. The intersection with DJ. So D starts here. It's going to go in the direction of J, and it doesn't stop. It's not a line segment. It goes on past J, goes on past A, goes on infinitely, okay? If you notice, it is an intersection, okay? Where are they intersecting? Well, notice the double color picks up here at D. It's double colored all the way through here. It's double colored all the way out to point A. Notice that none of the arrows are double colored. So it doesn't go on infinitely in either direction. That is just line segment AD. All right? And finally, we want the intersection between ray EH and IH, and I think I'm going to redraw this diagram real quickly here. Let's see. All right, so we have EH and IH. Okay, so EH is a ray. Starts at E, goes in the direction of H, but it does continue on infinitely past that. Okay, so it's basically this whole region here. And then intersection with IH, so picking up at I, continuing on infinitely, and make sure you get that arrow at the end, okay? Where are we double colored? Well, we start being double colored starting at point I, we're double colored still at point H, so it's at least that segment. We're double colored all the way out to this point, which I didn't label, but it's point C, and we are double colored infinitely out because we've got both those arrows. So that is ray starting at I, going out in the direction of either H or C. Remember, you use 2 points. You can call that IH or IC. I'm just going to call it ray IH. And so literally, ray IH totally overlaps that other segment. And so the overlap is completely along that ray.